What's up? What's up? What's good with it? Good with it.
So 3 feet well? 3 feet well? So we did what to them Chiefs? We put that what? Did I tell you? Did I tell you? Did I tell you? You ain't getting no 3 feet. Put them belt in their ass on them Chiefs. That's what I call a good revenge game. So with all the Chief fans talking all that shit, talking so y'all gonna score us and shit, look what happened. We whooped y'all ass. 40-22. That's an ass whooping. And oh yeah, don't talk about y'all was coming back with the skull head who was in the game. Those garbage points. We didn't care about that shit. We ought to take our quarterback out. We put Pickett in there.
At the head, it causes him to make a mistake. Whether it be Patrick throwing an interception, maybe it'd be a receiver or Travis Kelce dropping the pass. They're trying to rush the score. So, controlling the time of possession is a big thing, too. So I think that will help the Eagles win as well. What's up, Ultimate DJ Music? What's good with it? Peace to you, sister. How you doing? Appreciate you. And for the score prediction, I think the score, by the said and done, I think the score will be 31-20. The Eagles win. At the head, it causes them to make a mistake. Whether it be Patrick throwing an interception, maybe it'd be a receiver or Travis Kelce dropping the pass. They're trying to rush the score. So, controlling the time of possession is a big thing, too. So I think that will help the Eagles win as well. What's up, Ultimate DJ Music? What's good with it? Peace to you, sister. How you doing? Appreciate you. And for
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
Hey, we're How Ridiculous, 3 child.
Yeah. Come on. Bass knocking, snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Bass knocking, snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Let the beat talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Let the beat talk to me. When I touch the mic, I'm taking care of business. Dropping the bars with latest. So LeBron James, you about to witness. I'm rushing something greatness. Took a lot of pace to reach this elevation. I hold the competition, I face it is for sale. So why the negativity can go to hell? Fucking insecurity. I ain't break the bill. Eat the food fresh before we go stale. On my dogs here, man, it ain't hard to tell. Pull up a seed, that's sweet to see. No one wanna, but I think eternal. Jumping over generation curses like a hurdle. Forever for the day that I'm eternal. Reppin' with authority like a football kernel. Master shredder with the party. Read the straight like Ninja Turtles. Watch me get it off the muzzle, cause my vision be a tunnel. Moving through the rubble. Digging up these gems with the pen, that's my shovel. Bruising up this beast to a mumble. Bass knocking, snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Bass knocking, snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Let the beat talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Let the beat talk to me. I'm I'm a beast in the booth on my Babe Ruth, getting all the hits cause I'm speaking truth. Looking up the short, but I'm true to the game. Shooting for my goals with the aim of Steph Curry. Trying to make a name. I ain't playing games, this ain't PS5. This is real life, you only get one life. Ain't no 9 guys, so I can't waste my time on my Jimmy Cricket. Let your conscience be your guide the most. I will never lead you blind. Even real rejected, it's a blessing in disguise. That's a self-off, I try again. You gotta believe that you can fly. Spread the wings, fight and watch your blessings rise. Gotta keep fighting too, keep your dream alive. Never let the voices in your head win, cause you got a lot of greatness within. Let the rain begin. Shine on these haters, posing as your friends, cause they just for pretend. I recommend
Bass knocking, snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Bass knocking, snares hit. Only thing missing is the lyrics. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Let the beat talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Let the beat talk to me.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of
Vogel is fire.
For the second time, the Vince Lombardi Trophy is headed to Philadelphia. Eagles fly in Super Bowl 59.
Whoa, watch the camera, guys. We gotta be
Let's go down to Tom Rinaldi. He's got Nick Sirianni.
Kevin, thank you very much. Nick, Super Bowl champions. What does the moment mean?
Man, God's blessed us very much. He gave us all the talents to be able to get here. So first and foremost, thanks to him. And this is the ultimate team game. You can't be great without the greatness of others. And great performance by everybody. Offense, defense, special teams, Howie getting us the guys, our coaching staff, these great players. We didn't really ever care what anyone thought about how we won or their opinions. All we want to do is win. That's why we listened to my prerogative a little bit when we were after some wins, but thank God. Thank you, Jesus.
Nick, you talked about the special brand of togetherness that this group had. You preached it all season long.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's good with it? What's good with it? You are tuning in to Live Talks with Low. It's not a little bit late. If you just tapping in with me, shout out to Erica, the Cosmic Mama on Instagram. Appreciate you. And if you follow me, watch me on YouTube or Twitch, let me know in the chat. I can see your comments on YouTube or Twitch. I use the StreamYard, so let me know if you want to get on the live. If you're a fellow Eagles fan watching this live, go ahead and click that link. If you're watching from YouTube or Twitch, you should be able to click the link to be able to join me on the live screen, and you can share your thoughts on what's your favorite moment for the Super Bowl. Erica in the comments on Instagram was talking about the commercials. There were some great commercials. Snoop Dogg had a great commercial. I love that. And they did bring that Kendrick Lamar song out though. But I like the halftime performance. What did you think about the halftime performance? I thought it was great. Especially when they played Not Like Us. I thought it was pretty dope. And yeah, the game. I love the game. I loved every moment of the game. Of course, see I'm decked out of my Eagles stuff. And those of y'all might be new to my channel or new to watch the Live Talks with No. I'm a huge Eagles fan. I'm a diehard Eagles fan. Anybody that knows me well knows how much I love the Eagles. I'm a huge Eagles fan, so I had to pick out. So I had to make a special episode. It's been a month since the Eagles has won their second title in franchise history. And not only did they win their titles, second title in franchise history, they did it in a blowout. 2022, took the loss from the Chiefs, lost by 3. Bonehead penalty call, by the ref, they work in our favor. They really should have beat them then, but hey, man, did they get their lick back. But I'll tell you, they got their lick back. Now, I said he was going to win, despite the commentators, everybody not picking us, having us as underdogs, or thinking we weren't going to win, or a lot of Chief fans telling me that I came across telling me, hey, y'all ain't going to win, we're going to blow y'all out. But it was the other way around. Like, I did not expect a blowout. That's the thing that got me. So one of my favorite moments was like at halftime when it was like 24-0. It was 24-0, like in the Super Bowl, 24-0. We have Patrick Mahomes to 0 points. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think he had maybe like total of 23 offensive yards, the Chiefs as a whole. I'm like, damn, we whooping their ass. We just putting that belt to ass. I'm like, I know they said they're going to get their leak back, but damn. I'm like, yo, I wasn't expecting a blowout. So, of course, at halftime, I'm like, well, we still got another half to play because we all know what happened with Atlanta, with the Patriots, Tom Brady had too much time in the third quarter. Atlanta came back and won the game at the end of the game. The Patriots came back and beat Atlanta. Atlanta was up like 34-3. So I was like, I hope this ain't Atlanta again. So, as Eagle fans, we know how sometimes our Eagles can relinquish leads real quick. So I was like, well, I hope they don't go into the half like, oh, we got this in the bag. But they didn't. They never really took their foot off the gas until like maybe like fourth quarter when there's 9 minutes left. Like they subbed the starters out. Took the starters out. Put in the backups during the Super Bowl. And my favorite moment from the Super Bowl out of the entire game was that dagger Jalen to Devontae Smith. I love that dagger, man. After that was it. It was a wrap. Cooper DeJean picked off Mahomes in the first half. Got a pick 6. Then right after that, they got the ball back. Zach Ball picked them off. We went up 24-0 at the half. But in the third quarter, it's like the third quarter, and Jalen called a touchdown. If you go look at the mic ups, I can't put too much of the videos in there because they'll violate me on YouTube because you have content from other creators with the NFL, so you might copyright strike. I ain't trying to add too many of those. But if you go see that mic up, Jalen called a touchdown before he even threw it to Devontae Smith. That's what he called the play. You open the playbook, the risk, they had the plays on the playbook called touchdown before he even threw it. That was crazy. Then right when he threw that dagger, like if Devontae Smith caught it, I was like, that's it. That's when I knew the game was over. I was like, that's it. I don't think they coming back from that because it's like at that point, it's like it broke their spirit. It's like any thoughts of the comeback or even any fight they put up, it was over with. Now, I do understand that the Chiefs ended up scoring 22 points. They eventually scored like at the end of the third, but by then it was over with. It's like garbage time points. And then when they was scoring some more touchdowns, it's like, oh, we took our starters out. We had the backups. Y'all scoring against backups. And what's diabolical, was really diabolical, was on the sideline, it's 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the game ain't over with yet. They pouring Gatorade to Nick Sirianni. I'm like, man, the boys not only came back and surprised me, made me proud, but they came back and put that belt to ass. Like, you talking about getting your lick back, that was crazy. Let me see, Carl Mama said on Instagram, I don't think the song was meant like that, but now we should have an exclusive halftime show, multiple artists, multiple generations, multiple genres. It's it's like they really create these negative responses. That's true. Referring to the music, I get what you're saying though, but it is what it is. But I like the fact that now that instead of just having one genre of music, you can have multiple genres in the Super Bowl. You can have different genres. The audience can the audience. You got different people in the audience, so not everybody is a hip hop fan, which is true. But I like the fact that hopefully we can start seeing more diversity. So that's what I like. And I definitely agree with you on that, Erica, that you have multiple artists, multiple generations, multiple genres, because kind of cater to everybody. Because just because this person might listen to hip hop, don't mean they don't listen to the other music, or they might like that artist from that particular genre. So, kind of everybody has an opportunity to see what they had to offer for their genre or their type of music or their type of generation. I said, nah, no one canceled. No, Kendrick was selected the halftime performance headliner this year. They selected him as the halftime performance headliner. Nobody canceled, and we're a long way from that. But that's another topic. Unified because we're a long way from that. There's a lot of more things that's got to go into play, but so we're a long way from that. But other than that, what else did you like, Eric, about the Super Bowl? What else did you like that you see? It don't necessarily be about the game. Did you really enjoy the game as well? What was your favorite play from the game? Said right, right, absolutely. At least the fans, absolutely. At least the fans, the Eagle fans that was there, and the people or fans in general that was there, they got to see somebody else win a crown. I was very excited. Enjoyed every moment of the game. I'm like, man, I'm sitting there like, dang, they really putting it to them. And usually, at some point, sometimes the Super Bowl gets slow, but even through the blowout, I actually enjoyed it because it's like it made a statement. It's not only that my team won, they won convincingly. They made a statement. It's like, hey, this is for everybody that doubted us all season, calling us underdogs, saying that, hey, oh y'all ain't gonna make it, or ain't no way the Eagles gonna win the Super Bowl. This for all the doubters that doubted the Eagles are saying Jalen couldn't lead the Eagles to a Super Bowl, and look what he did. But I think it's funny now the commentators trying to move the excuse me, the goalpost. They're trying to move the goalpost now that Jalen Hurts got a Super Bowl ring and he won Super Bowl MVP. Now they're trying to say, oh, Super Bowl wins don't matter, or he don't have the stats, so he can't be elite. But your top four, but their top four was sitting at home. So I find that very interesting, though. But to me, I don't want to hear anybody else say, oh, Josh Allen better than Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson. Like, nah, I'm going to take Jalen Hurts over all of them. And I don't even know why people are missing Justin Herbert because he sucks. You saw what he did in the playoffs. He threw 4 interceptions in the playoff game. Like, the team can rely on him. When his team needed him, he turned the ball over. Turnover king. And y'all say he supposed to be better than Jalen? I don't think so. Only quarterback I really put above Jalen, maybe Patrick Mahomes, because he has more Super Bowl wins. But that's about it. But even that could be debatable because think about it. It's been twice when Jalen Hurts has played Patrick Mahomes in the biggest game of them all. He has outperformed him twice. Because 2 years ago, when we lost the Super Bowl game, I felt like we should have won. He outperformed him. He had 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns that game. 3 rushing, 1 touchdown pass. So at this point, I definitely was excited about the Eagles win the Super Bowl. The simple fact that Jalen Hurts now to show everybody why he is elite. And now any doubter that has a question about it, they're just a hater. You don't like him. It's okay if you don't like the man, but just give credit where it's due. You gotta give him props. Dude came out and did his thing. They had Saquon. They had Saquon on lock. Saquon only had 57 rushing yards. So, Saquon messed up a lot of people parlays, including me. I put it back. I thought Saquon would get 100 yards or at least a touchdown. But Chiefs put on lock. So they said, hey, we're going to make Jalen Hurts beat him. And what happened? Jalen Hurts beat him. And then on top of that, the defense also did their job and stopped Mahomes. I've never in my life have seen Mahomes getting beat up like he did. Tampa Bay game, he got the score, but this is real brutal. Like, they sat this dude 6 times, and then back-to-back. One of the drives, they sat him back-to-back. Just Saturday, and they got him again. And I think this was like a game that, to the old school football fans, when they say the back in the trenches, we really saw that because the defensive line was just scoring the Chiefs offensive line like there was amateurs out there, like they was high schoolers or something like that, or amateurs who never played the game. It's just like whatever they tried to do to stop it, they couldn't stop it. They just kept getting back there. And it's crazy that what made it even worse that he got 6 sacks and they not blitzed one time. Not one time the Eagles blitzed, and they sacked Mahomes 6 times. So it was just the defensive line putting pressure on them, keep getting them through the line. And when you got somebody like Jalen Carter, you got Nolan Smith, you got Mitchell Williams. Well, we had Mitchell Williams. He's gone on to the Patriots. And Josh Sweat, you got those guys, big guys coming at you. And then you got Jalen Carter, who requires almost always to be double teamed. What can you do? I don't know what was behind the game plan, but it sure wasn't ready. So we came to play. They didn't. Hey, that's what happens. What's up? It's Hip Hop. How you doing? And right, Cosmo Jalen kept it humble. I enjoyed the families coming on the field. It just like that and had a lot of love. Absolutely. And that's the thing. That's the thing I like though. Despite he could have went cocky, really could have popped the shit, but he really didn't. He kept it humble. He's excited, and now he said after he won the Super Bowl, he wants another one. So that's good that you say that because I like his mentality. He's a champion. He's still out working because I seen the video about a week ago of him out there working, out there practicing. It's in the off season. These guys are champion. He's out there practicing already. So whatever weaknesses he felt like he had or whatever he felt like he didn't do right this season, he's working on them already. So that's good. So he wants another one. And so does A.J. Brown and Saquon and Devontae Smith. They said they celebrated for a couple of days, but now they say, well, we got to get back to work. So, you got to respect a guy like that. And that's the type of quarterback that you'll want on your football team. Somebody like that has that mentality, kind of reminds me of Jordan. Call me crazy, but I think Jalen reminds me of Jordan. And he signed with Jordan too as well. So, and I think a couple of weeks ago they were spotted having dinner together. So I'm pretty sure Jordan gave him some nuggets. And, Derek Jeter called him after the NFC Championship game. Jordan and Derek Jeter had called him. So I'm pretty sure they put something in his ear. So, Jalen Hurts already is a hard worker. He got a hard work ethic. Wants to win. He's already a winner. So, pretty sure whatever Jordan told him, it rubbed off. And you could tell that he has his mannerisms too. Because you see him with the cigar, wearing the Kangos. Jordan used to do the same thing. I think when Jordan was puffing the cigar, smoking on the cheap pack. So I definitely agree. I definitely agree with you there, Erica, that Jalen's kept it humble. And he doesn't let the stuff get to him or let the wins fill his head up. He understands that, hey, I won. Okay, what's next? All right. So I did it this season. All right. Let me go out and do it again. So let me go out and see how I can top this. And it's not only him. I think the whole team this season, the whole team changed, you know. And it's funny because at the beginning of the season, I don't know if I have any Eagle fans in the chat, but you know, if you watch this later on, you can catch on later on, and you can leave the comments. You know, the replays will be on YouTube. The replay will be on YouTube, so you can watch it on there. And if you're watching it later on, you can leave your comments and say how you felt about the beginning of the season. Did you really think the Eagles gonna win the Super Bowl? You know, at first it was looking like the first like 3 games, we was like, man, what the hell going on? You know, especially when we lost to Atlanta. You know, the second game of the season, I'm like, man, here we go with this BS. You know, they finna start doing this BS. Nick Sirianni leaving points on the board, not kicking field goals. Then the following game, we get blown out by Tampa Bay. It's like, is this team really good or is this team a bust? You know, because I even said, you know, this year we got to win the Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl to bust. And you know, us as fans, you know how we Eagle fans get. You know, even me, I'll be the first to admit that I'm like, man, they're gonna start sucking again. You know, we started the game. We like 4 games in the season, and I'm already panicking. It's like, damn. I'm like, damn, man, we finna suck. And you know, just beginning of the season, but it's crazy though, and it's funny now that later on as the season progressed, team really got their stride. They caught their stride. So what it was, I think they didn't play. Most of the starters didn't play during the preseason. I think they had to get the reps in and shake the rust off. But after the bye week, it's like, man, we became unstoppable. Went on a win streak. It just became unstoppable. And then that's when we started noticing, like, well, oh, this team for real. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they really can. They really can go all the way. They stepping up. They started scoring people, started demolishing people, defense playing tight. Because last season, we was the last in everything on total defense. These was last in everything, total defense. And now this season, they become number 1 in defense on everything. Passing and rushing. And a lot of the credit goes to Vic Fangio. Defensive coordinator, man. A great signing by Howie Roseman. All that credit goes to Vic Fangio. You know, he has a great system. It might bend, but it don't break. And he has the old school mentality. And the simple fact that he's mean, you know. They say he's mean. They say that dude don't play. And I'm glad they picked him up because whatever he did or whatever he said, he had a defense playing together. They all played together. When they all made a play, everybody celebrating together. And that's what you need to be in a championship team, you know. You gotta have that team chemistry, you know. It's not one guy, you know. You might have a star guy that might stick out, of course. You know, you had that on every team, but you know, everybody played their part and everybody knew what their role was and they played that real. And the Fangio system, something brutal. And, you know, I'm glad we got him as defensive coordinator and I hope we keep him till he retires. And the simple fact, he even said that he don't really see himself going nowhere head coaching. He wants to be a defensive coordinator, wants to stay there. So that's good. And I think next season, our defense will be back on top again. Because after the Eagles win the Super Bowl, during the parade, they had a meeting at the parade. Come to find out, it came out that Vic Fangio had a meeting with the defense after the parade meeting and told them, like, hey, you know, I know we won the Super Bowl, but the simple fact that y'all gave up 22 points against the Chiefs, that was unacceptable. So you got to respect a coach like that has that mentality. It's like, look, I don't care. I don't care how much we win it. You don't let up. You don't let them score nothing. He's like, that's unacceptable. And by then, the backups was in. So I feel like next season, the Eagles still in good shape. We did lose some key players, you know, some vets that definitely did their thing and definitely was a big part of the win, big part of the season, a big part of being a big part of the team. But however, I understand what Howie Roseman's doing. He's keeping the team young. He understands that, hey, I got these young guys still on the rookie deal. I got these Georgia boys on the rookie deal. So why I'm worrying about trying to retain most of the veterans when I can let them go to the team because they probably will retire the next 3 or 4 years, you know. But I got somebody like a Nolan Smith. I got Quayon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Kobe Dean. You got Uche. And the guy from the Giants, I forgot how to pronounce his name, though, from the Giants that we picked up. The pass was from the Giants. He's from Georgia, too. So you got Kelly Ringo. So, like, you got those good young guys that's playing at an elite level, that's proving that they want to play, they belong in the league, and they still on their rookie contract. So, you got them for a good little 4 years almost. So, why not keep those guys, keep the team young? He might sign some veterans, but they don't have to be a superstar veteran, but just a veteran that's good enough to, maybe mentor the young guys, mentor the next young guys that come in. And on top of that, the moves Howard made also gave the Eagles 20 draft picks. So we got 20 draft picks in the next 2 years. We're shooting good. So that's potential to either make a trade for somebody or draft some more young talent that is great and get them for cheap. Get them on a rookie deal. So we can have some great young talent on a rookie deal for 4 years, about 3 to 4 years. So you can't beat that. So I think we're in good shape still. Now, is it going to be easy? This season's going to be easy? No. A lot of teams going to be gunning for us because of the simple fact that we are Super Bowl champs. But that's fine. But, that comes with the territory. And, listen to AJ was speaking. AJ made a comment saying, hey, we got a target on our back now, so we're going to have to change, which is true. So I don't know what he meant by that, but I think I know what that means. Saquon's still there, and on top of that, they have the core on the offense. The core guys on the offense that they are the leaders. You got Jalen, you got Saquon, you got AJ, you got Devontae Smith. Those 4 guys are locked to 2029. So we got into 2029, which is good. So anybody else that comes in can come under those guys and learn the ropes. So, they got them locked for the next 4 years. So we're good. And then you got the rookies. And you got the young superstars on defense that come out. You got Cooper DeJean and Quayon Mitchell, who played well above the level that people thought they would their rookie season, which I think both of those gentlemen are the 2 steals of the draft. And then Jalen Carter proved that he wanted to bust, that he was worth it. He proved that last season. And now, look at him this season. Like this season, now, he's called for double teams. So, next season, they're going to still be trying to double him, but I don't think it's going to work because you got Uche, you got Nolan Smith, you got Kobe Dean. You still got Jordan Davis, and I'm hearing Jordan Davis has been working on dropping his weight and working on his agility. So imagine he gets his agility, he gets his weight down, and gets to a point where he's at a healthy weight, at a much better weight, and he starts to move faster. Now, what you gonna do? You can't double both of them because you're gonna leave somebody open. So, and that's to say that don't get me wrong. I didn't want to see C.J. Gardner-Johnson go. I was hoping he stayed. I didn't understand at first. It's like why Howard brought him back just to trade him away. But I think he brought him back just for the purpose to mentor the young guys in the secondary. And also, I seen a couple of fans saying, hey, gave up big plays. This is one of the guys that gave up a lot of big plays. Yeah, a little bit. But, he also, it's the energy that he brought. What I'm going to miss is the energy that he brought. So, that being said, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is definitely going to be missed. But we need a replacement for him. It doesn't have to be somebody that's maybe like a real superstar, but just somebody that's good, that knows the defense enough, that's going to come to work at the work ethic. Because at this point, if you're a pickup, you're getting picked up on the Eagles on defense. I'm pretty sure Vic and probably have it talking with Howard say, hey, yeah, I think this player could be good. He can fit my system. I don't think Howard will put somebody intentionally in the system that's not going to fit Vic's system. So if it's a decent player, they might not be known, but Zach Bond, another guy that showed everybody that he's an elite player. This dude was getting a Pro Bowl selection, and he was showing out on special teams on the Saints. He came to us. He really showed out. And I'm glad we extended him. And nobody thought that he was going to be great as he played this season. So next season, we got him next season still. We got him for another 3 seasons. So there you go right there. I think Vic Fangio's system needs to be studied. Any defensive player that goes there seems like their level of play goes up through the roof. And I don't think Vic will have anybody there that's like, hey, if you ain't coming to work, you ain't gonna be on my defensive unit. You're gonna be out of here. And I like that. So with Vic Fangio having him, having a great young guys that's already got experience, they know what it's like to win, they know what it takes. I can see another great season with some challenges, but I like our chances. So if you're just joining in, just tapping in with me, you came in late, talking about the Eagles Super Bowl win, talking about the Eagles, Knicks Bulls, my predictions for next season, and the Bulls, Howie Roseman has been making in free agency. And what do you think he'll do in the draft? Just tapping in, just posing a question, what you think Howie would do in the draft. Well, he's already got us set for the draft for the next 2 years. Got 20 picks total, And I think, I don't know if it's this year's draft or next year's draft, where he has the top 8 picks. And so that's pretty good standing, if you ask me, because even if he doesn't draft somebody, he can use those draft picks to make trades and make pieces. Howard does most of his magic in the draft, so there's no telling what he'll do. And from my opinion is I think Howard's going to make a big trade. I don't know who it is yet, but, you just got to wait and see. He's going to do some. He's going to draft some good players. He's going to do some drafting. But I think some of those picks going to get traded to a team for another player that's going to be a great fit. We traded away C.J. Gardner-Johnson, so we need another safety to go along with Sidney Brown. So I think Howard makes a big move. Howard is known to be a musician in the draft. If I'm not mistaken, that's the way A.J. Brown came about. Did some draft picks, traded some draft picks with the Titans and got A.J. Brown. So let's see, because this is how the Magic era. I seen a couple fans, panicking like, man, how are we doing? You let these players go, but we gotta trust in Howie. We already know this. We should be used to it by now. I'm used to it by now. Knows how he works his magic in the draft. So ain't no telling what's gonna come next. So I'm eager to see what he does in the draft, because he always gonna do something that shock you. Will he draft all those picks, or will he trade some of them? I don't think he'll draft all of them. I know he's gonna make some good moves in the draft. He's gonna draft some players. He's gonna draft what he needs, and then maybe 2 or 3 of those draft picks. Or I'm gonna trade this to this team because y'all want to move up, but hey, I got something that we got that we need. So let's see what we can do. The free agents have been a wild ride. I thought we might have had a shot at getting Myles Garrett, but it turned out Myles Garrett wanted to stay. Said money is so championships are cool, but money is better. Well, I guess he can stay over there to the Browns and keep losing, because I don't think the Browns gonna be in the Super Bowl no time soon, or maybe at the end of his career. I mean, his best shot probably was to come over here, but it's probably a good thing that we didn't get Myles Garrett because he probably been a lot of money and he probably had to give up a lot of picks for him too as well. So it'd been nice to have him, but we really don't need him. I mean, we got the young guys, we got the Georgia Bulldogs. Pretty much, the running joke goes around that calling Philadelphia Eagles the Philadelphia Bulldogs because it seems like we get all the Georgia players, we got the whole Georgia defense. And as a matter of fact, with the new signing from the new passers from the Giants, signed that brother. Now he's back with his teammates again that he played with in college. So all of them together again, and they played together. So 7 Georgia players on the Eagles defense right now. 7. And probably some more too, because I was looking at I forget his name. I'm not sure. Somebody's in the chat if you're watching. You type in the name of the safety for Georgia. He played at Georgia this year. And he's coming in the draft, so he's coming out of Georgia. He's gonna be in the draft. Like I'd like for us to pick him up. He looked pretty good. Safety from Georgia. That's coming in. They're gonna be in the draft this year. So maybe Harold picks him up. Maybe Harold sees something. It's like, hey, he could come in and have a season like Quayon and Cooper DeJean. Maybe we could draft for safety. Maybe Howard's gonna go the route say, hey, we just draft a good safety there. I know that's good. Like I hope we get the guy from Georgia. That dude looked good looking at his highlight tapes, and I'm like, damn, that dude amazing. So who knows? Howard can decide to go young for the safety, or he could go to veteran. I know Justice Simmons is a free agent, so we'll see though. Ain't no telling what he might do. And anybody in the chat available to join me on the live screen, you could come join me on the live screen and you can share your thoughts about the topic. I'm talking about the Birds building the Dynasty and how it got something cooking, and also talking about the Super Bowl victory as well. I was talking about that earlier, so if you missed that, you're welcome to come in and join the chat. And shout out to everybody on Instagram. Holler at me. Appreciate you, Cosmic Mama. Appreciate you tapping in, sharing your thoughts. See a pop, I see you. I see you doing the interviews. I gotta catch up on some of your interviews as well. I don't know if you're still in the chat. I appreciate you stopping by. I'm Stoneham. I appreciate you stopping by as well. So I just posted a question of who's your favorite Eagles player? Oh, I was saying I was appreciate you stopping by and tuning in and tapping in with me. Appreciate you, Erica. Y'all putting furniture together? Oh, nice. Oh, dope. Oh, dope. That sounds like fun. Yeah, I was just giving shout outs to the people on IG. You know, I use StreamYard. I don't know if you noticed that I've been using the doing the lives on StreamYard now. So I have to flip back and forth to the IG tab because StreamYard don't like to see my comments on Instagram yet. I don't know why they haven't made it where you can see your comments from Instagram as well on one screen, so I can stay on one screen and just reply to everybody like that. I definitely appreciate the support. You know, definitely appreciate that. So maybe share it with your friends if they're Eagle fans. Share it with them, tell them watch the episode. Oh yeah, StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard is amazing. It's a great tool to use. I'm glad I started using it because I was trying to figure out a way to stream on YouTube and keep my screens on Instagram because originally I started live talks on Instagram like 3 years ago and also stream on Twitch now. So StreamYard allows me to stream on multiple destinations. So when I'm going live, so this person might not have an Instagram or this person might just like to watch his lives on YouTube. So it kind of allows you, not kind of, it does allows you to reach different audience that you normally won't reach if you just stayed on one platform. So you could be on multiple platforms at one time, which I think is great because you have some people who just tend to stay on TikTok, and that's another platform that I haven't brought Live Talk Slow yet, but I do post the clips on the episodes on TikTok. And so that's another one that I need to add to my record as well. But however, I was talking to somebody, having a conversation with somebody, and they're telling me that TikTok is similar to StreamYard. It has pretty much the same setup almost. But I never really went live on TikTok yet. But somebody told me I should give it a try. But I just might. But I have to figure out how to incorporate that platform as well with YouTube and Instagram. Trying to grow my YouTube. But trying to grow my YouTube channel because people tend to like more long form content on YouTube, and I think Instagram is more for short form. And sometimes on TikTok, look like TikTok has a lot of long form content too, but no, I'm looking at it more like most of the time when I'm watching the live on TikTok, somebody might playing a video game, somebody screaming a video game. Sometimes you see people talking sports or people just talking in general, but most of the time I see people screaming video games. So of course, Twitch is more like a streaming site for video games, but also I think Twitch has different categories. But Twitch is known for podcasting too, or people just talking on lives because Casanet, the number one screamer in the world right now. He started on Twitch. He plays video games, but now he just sits there and talk or have multiple guests come to his house. So that's cool, but a little bit off topic though, but just tell a little bit about what's going on, what I'm using now. And I don't know if you guys can see that. So if you're watching me on YouTube, you can click that link to join me on the chat. You can share your thoughts about the Super Bowl or the NFL free agency, And if you're an Eagles fan in the audience right now, go ahead and hop on the live with me. Want me to talk, share your thoughts. Say it to be by building Dynasty or just talking about your favorite player or just talking about your favorite moment from the Super Bowl. Or you might want to share a video or share a clip. On Instagram, going back to IG, they all get a bit into it. So many things it feels like we're being bombarded, but I think it's a short content. Oh, absolutely. I think so too. You know, I was in a content creation class earlier, like a couple of hours before I got home. You know, I was in a content creation class, and they told me about the short form content. You know, President Cam was telling me, you know, hey, when you do your lives, you know, try to find something that connects with the audience. You know, maybe look at something that you laughing. So, you know, I'm about to go back to some of the episodes where I did interviews and look at key moments, dig up some more key moments that I feel like they'll connect with people because people tend to stop people from scrolling. And thank you, Erica. Appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you, and I definitely will keep that piece of the gem that you said in mind too. That it's a short content. I appreciate you stopping by and tapping in and give me some of your evening. I appreciate that, you know. And if you get a chance later on, you can watch the replay on YouTube because I'm finna get out of here myself. And, you know, I probably stay on a couple of minutes myself, and then I'm gonna get off a little bit. But while I'm on here, if you're new to the channel or if you're just tapping in, I was talking about the Eagles, how to build in the Birds dynasty. You know, the Eagles, we call the Eagles Birds. You know, go Bird. You know, that's a universal saying that Eagle fans give each other. And Howie Roseman is the GM. So, you know, I'm talking about. I think he got something cooking for the draft. You know, we all know how he loves to do his magic during the draft. So we're gonna see. But if you're new, I want to tell you, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, or if you're watching on Twitch, subscribe, or you're tapping in from Instagram, give me a follow. And if you have Facebook, TikTok, I'm also on there as well. You can follow me there as well and say, hey, I saw the podcast tonight. I saw you talking about the Eagles, and I'm a fan. You know, we talk. And also, if you'd like to be a guest on Live Talks Below, I'm going to leave my email up here too as well. You can contact me at this email to be a guest on Live Talks Below. I just did an interview with Carolyn Scott about 2 weeks ago. And she's the youngest Tina Turner tribute performer in the world. So that was a great interview. You know, you can check that out as well. You know, I have a playlist of all the interviews on Live Talks Below. And as you can see on the screen right here, if you want to be a guest, just contact me at the email. You know, send me your bio, send me a picture, and if you got a business, I can do that too. You know, you don't necessarily have to be an artist. You know, I interview people that's necessarily not an artist, but doing something in the industry. You know, even though it is a hip hop based podcast, you know, I still open to other variety of topics as well, or you just have a topic that you want to talk about. If I think it's intriguing enough, hey, we come up here and talk about it, and I pull you up, and you can educate me. You know, I don't know everything, so you know that's the reason why I created Live Talks Below. You know, I might pose a question. You know, I'm hoping somebody shows me something new. So that's what it's about anyway. Because if you're not learning, then are you really living? And also, I want to let you know you can go on my website as well. You can purchase my music, you can purchase merch, and you can contact me from the website as well. That's www.thebrothersonly.com. So before I get out of here, just want to play something real quick.
Hate that you said he wasn't a top 10 quarterback. Hate that you said he couldn't throw the ball. Hate that he got over when push came to shove. Hate that he always say the right thing.
Money is nice, championships are better.
Hate that in your all-knowing, armchair wisdom, you were sure he come up short. Hate that you got it wrong.
Like another love TKO.
Yeah, I thought I'd end off with that. So, just taking a shot at the Jalen Hurts haters, love that commercial. So I thought I'd end it off on that note. So with that being said, I'm the Reddit's only. Been watching another episode of Live Talk So Low. So if you missed it, just go on my YouTube channel and watch the replay. And you can share your thoughts in the comments, and I gave you your thoughts on the comments about the topic I talked about tonight. Thank y'all. Y'all be blessed. Peace.